Welcome to this live edition of Critical Mass Business Talk Show. I am Rick Franzi, and I am super excited to be talking with my good friend and member of our community, Stephanie Pottick. She is the founder of Pottick Law PC. Good day, Stephanie. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Rick? Thank
I'm
you for
doing
having me on.
I'm excited to have you here. So let's start the interview by looking at Pottick Law. You've been in business for 13 plus years.
Yes.
Uh, what was your motivation to leave and start your own legal practice?
So good question. So, as you know, but I don't know who's listening, so not everyone will know. Before becoming an attorney, I worked in the toy industry for many years on the business side. So, I worked in everything from sales and marketing, manufacturing, and logistics. We created a lot of products. Maybe you've seen Pizza Hut or Burger King Play Food, Sesame Street strollers, Wizard of Oz dolls. So basically, I had the business experience, but I always wanted to go back to law school. So I did. And then when I graduated and started looking for a job, it was 2008. And guess what? Yeah, exactly. The recession. And everyone was getting laid off at the law firms. So it was, more of a challenge. But I knew that I really wanted to help businesses just because of my experience, help keep them out of trouble, help protect them, work in, brand protection, contracts, licensing. So I figured the only way I could do it was to start my own practice, and that's what I did.
That's amazing. And every time you tell that story, because ladies and gentlemen, I've heard a version of that story more than one time. It reminds me how valuable experience is for we practitioners who are
Yeah.
consultants, advisors, and your business acumen really does help you to be more empathetic, I think, with the clients that you work with. I think that's a true statement.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I think the benefit is that I've walked in their shoes. So I get what they're going through and I can identify risks before they even know what's going on. So working with me, it's like you don't have to explain your business to me. I get it.
So I have firsthand experience in spirit of full disclosure. I have worked and used Stephanie's legal mind to help me on a number of occasions. I look on my wall to my right, and there are 7 trademarks which you helped me to secure over our relationship. And also, in working with you, it reminds me of how important words on paper are from a contracts perspective, and what I read as a business person, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You read with your perspective and call my attention to things that I frankly have just glossed over. I'm
Yeah.
sure you do that for many of your clients.
Yeah. I mean, I think again, that's one of the benefits. So when you read something, from a legal perspective, you see the pitfalls. So, if I'm reading through and I see, okay, as I won't call out, but I'll just say, let's say there's an assignment clause and, we're reading through and I know what that does legally. But then my job, I think, is to explain to my client what it does to their business. So it's one of those things where, yes, then I get to say, okay, yeah, maybe that makes sense. But did you know it could really mean X? So
And I'm
that's,
sure, like me, most go, no, I didn't. Tell me a little bit more because I don't like X. So,
yeah, exactly.
step.
I mean, I think just knowing is the important part. I feel that whenever I work with clients, no matter if it's a huge company or just an individual or an entrepreneur, it's just as important. You have to know what's in the contract and then just explain it. And, ultimately it's a business decision whether you move forward or not.
Right. And we're going to move on here in a minute, but I just want to say that your eyesight and perspective saved some of my IP when you read one of the contracts that I had and you added some words to it that the other party accepted that came later, allowed me to retain my IP when I would have had to give it up if it hadn't been for you. So thank you very much for
Yeah,
that.
my pleasure. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. So let's go back to Pottick Law. 13
Okay.
years. At what point you started in the Great Recession? When did you truly believe that your law practice was going to succeed and be what you had hoped it would become?
So, I mean, I guess I practice in a very, a more specialized area of the law. So, it definitely, you have to have some experience and knowledge to be able to help effectively. And I guess I knew right away that I had contacts in toy and licensing industries, and I got some clients pretty soon after opening up. And, I realized that, by speaking with them and then just starting to work with other people and getting referrals, that, hey, as we were saying a minute ago, I understood their business. I've walked in their shoes. And the fact that I would get similar comments that, oh, you're not like a typical lawyer. Oh, I understand what you're saying. Oh, thank you. You get my business. I don't have to explain everything to you. So I kind of thought, okay, I'm going to be okay. This is the right thing for me.
So that's the the initial feeling that people value what you're doing and will pay you for it. All of us early stage entrepreneurs remember those days when you needed some market acceptance. But
Yeah.
then there's that, does it scale? Can I make a living from it? Is this business going to be able to kind of give me the lifestyle that I'm looking for? Was there something specific beyond the initial acceptance from toy industry people that told you, hey, this business could be even more than that, and I could branch out and do other things?
So it's an interesting question. I have so many different ways to answer it, but basically, for me, I'm just passionate about proactive legal protection. So whoever I can talk to and get in front of, I think that was my motivation more than oh wow, I can retire. I mean, happily, when I was in the toy business, I did well enough that I didn't have to overly worry. So any years that were a little quieter, I still, for me, it's all about doing the right thing and helping people. So, so yes, I guess the answer is that I just kept going. I mean, I think you just keep moving forward. And at some point, I think financially, I think it's more the referrals. So I just keep getting a lot of referrals and people who, people will come up or send me an email and say, hey, such and such told me, to get in touch with you and you can help me. So that's really when I knew there was something there. And then getting to the second part of your question, I think I'll answer that shortly about other things I can do with my knowledge.
Great. So where do you go
Yeah.
outside of your law practice to discover outside perspectives that might help you to build your business better, run it differently, open up new opportunities? Where do you go for that perspective?
So that's interesting. It's good to read. I network and collaborate with other attorneys. One of the big things that I do, as you know, Rick, in full disclosure, so I'm a member of Renaissance and a member of one of Rick's groups, and I cherish the group. I mean, it's a place where we can sit and have conversations about our businesses, and other things, and get different perspectives because if you're running a business, especially if it's a small practice or you're doing it on your own, you want those outside perspectives. And you've been amazing, Rick. So I'm very thankful for that. Otherwise, the feedback from clients, I listen. It's not about me. It's about the client. So I listen to what they want. I listen to what feedback they're giving me. And another thing which has been really helpful is speaking for different
Mhm.
organizations and events. So, like, I've spoken for Women in Toys Licensing and Entertainment a number of times. I've spoken at Toy Fair, well, last year, 2020, before everything shut down. Licensing Expo when it was in Las Vegas, and I just recognized that people would come up to me afterwards and say, wow, I didn't know this or I didn't know that, and I use that feedback kind of to help figure out what information my clients need and then also what information is lacking.
Yeah, you mentioned your keynote speaking and the workshops that you lead at these different organizations, and we've been together as friends long enough. I remember when you saw that as an opportunity to share your knowledge and also extend your brand, and I've been so impressed the progress you've been able to make, kind of pre-COVID, and now as we get back out into the world, what you'll be able to do by being up on that stage and sharing your
Yeah.
knowledge. So that's fantastic.
I love it. I'm super passionate about that. I just love educating people. And, for me, I mean, I miss when I was in business, I would go on the sales calls and,
Mm.
I miss that. I miss the interaction.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to ask you this. I hear from my producer and others that you have a top secret announcement that you want to make here on Critical Mass Business Talk Show. So, are you able to share this news with us now?
I am. So this is the official launch of the pre-sale of Protect for Success, which is an online course created for entrepreneurs, inventors, business owners, product and brand creators, or pretty much anybody that wants to learn about intellectual property, contracts, and some different ways that they can make money from their ideas.
So, what is it?
Oh, it's so basically it's a 6-week course that comes with 7 modules, 6 educational tools, and 3 bonuses. And it's really a great overview of what you need to know. Basically, going throughout your journey, it's about learning about intellectual property, whether you own it, why it's important to protect it, whether you can use it, contracts, just really helpful tips about different types, what you should be looking for. Before you sign, know what you're signing. So there's really a lot to it. And then, of course, at the end, hey, if someone's come up with an idea, what are the 3 main ways that you can make money from it? And then just comparing them. So it's really a nice overview because not having that information can result in missed opportunities and possible IP infringement, and the risk that ideas may be stolen or a brand name may be stolen. So basically, the course is going to help people spot big issues and set them up for success. That's our goal. Now, it's not legal advice, but it is a lot of helpful business and legal information and considerations that people want to keep in mind.
So I've got a couple follow-up questions. I hope you're okay with that. And one thing that hit me is as you talked about the value that the course presents at the end, I was thinking that's based on your experience as a business person because
Yes.
you're actually helping them to figure out. I mean that's not typical for what I would expect would come from this type of a training program. So that's
Right.
really a powerful bonus on top of it. Is this only intended for people that are doing products, or is this also intended for people that are doing services?
So
Who's the intended market?
that's a good question. I mean, I think anyone can benefit from it. I think if people are creating products, it's even more important because if you're shipping something, you can recall it, which means more money. You don't, I mean, the goal here is to save money, not get into legal trouble, to know things before jumping, because the last thing you want is a costly lawsuit, or to have to rebrand. So I think products, it's definitely more important, but this is a really good primer for anyone. If you have a service as well, that you have the same protections. You're still going to go on social media and market it. You still have to know if you can use that IP or not. You're still going to go into contracts, and then in terms of, services, yeah, I mean, there's you making money from something that you've created. Maybe you can license your content. I think it's just a good basis of education. There's a lot of information that I wish I knew when I was
Mhm.
starting out in the toy business. And I think that at the end of the course, people will walk away with a lot of great information, great education. And if they ever do engage an attorney, then they'll have more information. They won't have to waste the attorney's time or waste their money. They're going to know, and they'll be better poised to go into deals and be more successful. That's our goal.
Why did you decide to put all, I mean, why did you decide to create this?
I I, I love educating people. I think that's just, it's my passion. Even when I'm working with clients, just teaching them what they need to know and talking about all the different things that could happen. So we have to make sure that we protect them. And it's that I realized not everyone's going to hire an attorney. Not everyone can afford to hire an attorney, but they still need that really basic education. Whether it's a business owner who wants to, you can't always rely on the people around you. They don't know. As you always say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And well, Ben Franklin, but you say it also. I've heard you.
He hasn't said it for a long time. I've said
That's
it
true.
much more
That's
recently
true.
than he has.
That's true. But that's really what it's all about, kind of educating yourself to empower yourself to move forward.
That's so powerful. So, um, are you offering any special promotions to
I
support this announcement?
I am. We are doing a pre-sale. So what does that mean? The course is almost ready to go, but I was just so excited I couldn't contain myself. So we are offering, and it should be going on. There it is on the banner there. I look down. It's basically a pre-sale discount of $300 off the course, the full price of the course, until November 1st, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The coupon code is P is in protect, F is in 4, S is in success, 997. And then the course, so if someone would buy the pre-sale with the discount, and the course will, launch on November 1st, 2021.
Wow. So this is a chance to get in line early and be one of the early people that are going to benefit from your program. Thank you for offering that to the audience, both here live on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. But we're also going to be streaming this as a podcast on all of our podcasting platforms. So we'll make sure to get the podcast up as soon as possible so that people can participate in that. I'm wondering, Stephanie, what do you know now about this project that you wish you would have known when you first started it?
Okay, so wait, before I forget though, I think it's in the banner, but to get to the information for the course, for to sign up for the course, it's protectforsuccess.clickfunnels.com/ or backslash, I can never figure that out, program, but it should be on the bottom. So find there.
And we'll put that in the show notes for the podcast. If you're listening
Thank
to
you.
this as an audio only, don't worry, we'll make it available so that you can find it in the show notes.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah, I don't want people to be like, "Hey, it's a great offer. What do I do now?" So okay, that's a good question. It was a lot of work, and it's I think
Was a
the
lot of work.
what the course
Yeah, I'm sure it was a lot of work,
it was.
man. This
You
is
know,
a
it was.
hell
I
of an
mean,
undertaking.
it was a huge undertaking. So, I think also because we're more particular, I wanted to go out of my way to kind of, curate what would people need to know? What's the essential information that will help move them forward with confidence? And, so that took a long time to figure out what should be in there, and then creating it in such a way that it's understandable. We want to make sure it's not legalese. This is not a contract. This is like, hey, very straightforward things that I wish I had known when I was in business, and a lot of just legal considerations and business considerations as people make their decisions. So the content took a long time, and I wound up hiring a team to help me with the logistics of creating the videos and the slides, and putting everything together, and the landing page and everything else. So it was a big effort, and it did take a long time, but I've been working, so it's not like I took off. I've been balancing both, and it was definitely a lot of work, but no matter what happens, I am so proud of what we put together. So I'm just excited.
This is something that in the peer group community, we've been talking about how do we create tools that extend our reach beyond our individual time and presence. And
Yeah.
you have taken this very seriously. And I know have been collecting information and organizing your thinking far before you actually started the effort
Yeah.
of putting it down on tape or
Years.
video so that
Years.
people can benefit. Years, right? This is an awesome, and it's so great full circle that you're making the pre-sale announcement here with me on this platform, having been able to watch you walk this journey for a long time. And I'm excited that you're able to create something that will have reach across the country. And I hope that people will take advantage of the pre-sale opportunity to save a few dollars. Not only are they going to save a lot of money by the knowledge, but they get to save a little bit of money on the front end too. How cool is that?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the goal is just to help as many people as possible. I can't speak everywhere. So, and especially now. So it was a great opportunity. And if I can help one person spot one issue and save their business, I'm going to feel that it was all worth it.
Well, I don't think you saved my business, but you saved my IP. You spotted one thing that I would have never thought to put into that agreement, that when time, and who even knew it would be required, but when it came time and we actually showed the other party these words were in the agreement that they had signed, they were surprised because they said no other author had that in their agreement. And I'm like, well, look, I guess they didn't have Stephanie Pottick reading the agreement then, did they?
There you go.
That's fantastic. So where's the best way for people to learn more about your law practice, your new launch, or to connect with you?
So anyone can go to my legal website, which is potticklaw.com, or find me on LinkedIn and connect with me, Stephanie Pottick. And then for the course, right now we have that link, which is, should be going somewhere in the banner. We'll put it in the comments afterwards. Mm-hmm. So those are the three easiest ways.
So, and Pottick is spelled
Pottick.
There you go. Just like it sounds, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you for giving of your time today to be a guest on our business talk show, for being a member of the Renaissance Executive Forum's global community, and to being a personal friend of mine for quite a long time, Stephanie. I'm very happy to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. You are absolutely amazing. I'm just so excited to still be connected with you. I mean, I can't say enough nice things about you, and I appreciate you having me on, and I'm excited that I got to launch here.
And she said still connected with you because her and her husband were here with us in Orange County, Southern California, but they have temporarily relocated to the East Coast, but they'll be back.
That's right.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. They'll be back.
We may be living in your basement. I'm kidding. No basements in California. Just kidding.
Yeah. If you can find one, you're welcome to stay there, but we don't have it. This edition of Critical Mass Business Talk Show is proudly supported by Gottlieb, Brackman, and Reisman, PC. GRR, we call them. They provide legal advice and guidance on all aspects of intellectual property, including patents, trademarks, and copyrights. If you'd like to learn more, go to grr.com. I hope all of you have enjoyed this conversation we had today here with Stephanie Pottick, and I hope that all of your business decisions move your businesses in a positive direction.
I do too, and people at GRR are great too. Thank you for having me, Rick.
You're welcome.
Okay.